guys, Sean here. Welcome back to another vlog. Welcome back to Pub Street in Siem Reap. I'm not here celebrating anything. At 7:52 p.m. on July 17th, my mother, she passed away peacefully, free of pain, free of everything. And the reason I'm out having a drink is I'm going to celebrate with my mom the way my sister did in her final moments. So, because my sister knew that it was going to be the last time, she went to the hospice. She brought herself a beer, played some music for mom, and just kind of talked with her and laughed. And just played some of Mom's favorite songs and just enjoyed her company. And I don't know on what level Mom was conscious or anything, but I just know that my sister was there with her in her final moments when she passed. So, my mom loved happy hour. She wasn't like a huge drinker or anything. She just liked the idea of, well, everything stops. I get to have myself a drink, and she would just sit and have a glass of red wine and just enjoy. You know, it was the time to, everything stopped. Oh, it's happy hour. Yeah, everything's got to stop. We're having a happy hour. You know, sometimes snacks would come out, sometimes, and it didn't matter where we were. We could be traveling. Her box of wine was with her. We'd be in the hotel. She used to love going to air shows with my stepdad. They used to go watch the planes, you know, the air shows go by. She'd have her box wine with her. Go down to visit, pull out the box wine. And I'd have happy hour with her. It didn't matter where we were. And as an adult, it was a nice thing. It was nice to have something like that with Mom. So, Mom, see you. Happy hour. I love you. Yeah. So, I'm okay. I've been preparing for this for a few months. I honestly, I just want to thank everybody for all the kind words and all the positive, the amount of positivity that came out of the comment section yesterday overwhelmed me. She passed away. It was almost 7 o'clock here in the morning in Cambodian time. So it's an 11-hour time difference currently. And she's in the Eastern time zone. She was in South Carolina. So I'd been up for a while. I didn't sleep much last night. I'm just waiting for the phone call. And I was getting ready to try to respond to comments because everyone was being so kind. And I just didn't know how to respond because I was still in limbo. I didn't know, nothing had happened. You know, I was still waiting. And then, like I said, it was just before 7 here, so it was like 7:52 p.m. My sister messaged me saying that Mom had passed. And she just wanted me to know. And she asked if I could reach out to my son and, you know, a couple of people that she couldn't reach. And had family members reach out to me as well. But for the most part, today has been quiet. The time difference makes for an interesting thing. So as everybody, you know, found out last night, I found out this morning. So I've had ample time to grieve. I didn't do anything today. I made food. Played video games. I had memories. I laughed. I didn't cry. I don't know if I will. I don't mourn the loss of a person because that's a selfish thing to me. For me, when a person passes away, my job is to ensure that their stories continue to be told. And so for me, it'll be telling the tales of my mom and my childhood and all the zany things that we got up to, and the amount of things that she did that affected me to become the man I am. My passion for food, my passion for travel, all stems from her. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. And not just in the physical sense, metaphysical as well. Yeah, my passion for food comes from her. Because it was, we traveled a lot. We moved a lot, but we traveled a lot. And we didn't travel like long distances or anything. Like my dad was a salesman, so he sold computer systems. So, we'd do little trips in and around New Brunswick or Ontario, wherever we were. But we'd have like little trips for a day or two. Sometimes we'd have bigger trips. For the most part, we just traveled North America. When I was younger, like they were, driving adventures. We'd go across country, hop in the Corvette. I'd be in the back seat of the Corvette with a bottle of Coke, holding on to the railing and learning how to swig on a bottle of Coke or 7-Up or Sprite, whatever it would be. In my diapers, just barreling down the highway. Good childhood. I don't have a single complaint. But because we traveled and food became something that we used as a treat because we're in a new city, I can get a hamburger anywhere. What's new here? What can we try? We're at a hotel. What restaurants are next door? What can we get that's going to be interesting? So I had food from all over the world because we did that. Especially in Orlando and Florida because there's stuff everywhere. And then in cities like Toronto, going out was, a thing. As a child, being an introvert paid off in dividends for me because we had two options for our birthday. We could have a birthday party. We'd go to McDonald's, a bunch of our friends, and have hamburgers and do the whole thing and have, the typical kid's birthday party. Whoop-de-doo. Or we go out as a family, just the four of us, and we go out to what we called a big people's restaurant. So that'd be usually it was a French restaurant. And we'd go out for a big meal. We could order anything we wanted on the menu. Didn't matter. We felt like having escargot and lobster tails. That was our birthday. We had it. So, growing up, going to these restaurants, watching, the chefs making Caesar salad at the side of our table. It always was an adventure. And I'm so ever thankful for the fact that my passion for food stems from my upbringing. And I'm so thankful that my son has the same palate as me, where he is curious about food and wants to try new things, because that's something I don't want to get lost after I go away. I want him to have that passion for food too. So I'm glad he has it. But, that's why in Cambodia, I can go, I'm going to go try this today. Sounds good. Yeah. She was 4'11", and I never thought of her as tiny growing up. You never had that fear of that thing usually you get from your parents is wait till your father gets home, you're going to get in trouble. We didn't have any of that shit. It was, you done fucked up. You have to deal with me. And so, Mom didn't pull any punches. She was never mean or abusive or anything, but when you fucked up, you knew it, And she showed that she was disappointed. And disappointing a parent, that's a rough thing, man. That look of disappointment on their face hurts way more than getting your ass spanked. But yeah, man, I didn't have my mom was she was a matriarch of the house. She ruled it, and I don't have a single issue with her. It was fun. We traveled, like I said, a lot. We didn't have computers or phones. So we'd be in a hotel room playing, Clue or Monopoly or whatever. And then I remember we were in Washington, D.C. once, and Dad was taking a course. And so he was off every day doing his business thing. We were stuck in a hotel room. Mom was like, well, we're going to go do stuff today. So one day she planned it. We went to the Smithsonian Institute. And we went and saw all the stuff there, and I got dinosaur bones. I'm in, right? So she just made sure that we had things to do. And then she got a driver for us. And we went to the war memorial, the cemetery where they have all of the fallen soldiers. And typically, you don't have access to it. A big section of it we didn't have access to because of the fact that you had to be a veteran in order to get in. But our driver was a veteran. And he's like, I'm going to show you guys something you'll never see again in your life. So he took us right up to the Eternal Flame for JFK, where they have a fire burning for him. We were just yards away from that thing. And he's like, yep, unless you're a veteran, you can't come here. Typically, he goes, so I just pulled some strings, brought you guys in. So like those kind of adventures happened to us, where we'd randomly meet some people that was super cool. And it was always fun. Yeah, that was a fun trip that we had to DC. Yeah, because this was back in, I think like 74, 75. Jimmy Carter was president. You could actually take tours of the White House back then. So we walked through, I got into the Oval Office, and there was like a gift shop that was in there, and it was super cool. Like, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought, this is a cool place to be. Not realizing that, shortly after, nobody was getting in there again unless you were, part of the elite, Either you were one of the politicians or you were invited in, but regular people walking into the White House was an actual thing back then. We took a tour. I had a flyer for it. That's the kind of stuff Mom used to do for us, It's like she wanted to make sure that our brains were engaged all the time when we were traveling. Yeah. Like I said, the passion I have for a lot of what I do comes exactly from her. I was going to go out and eat today, but I'll save that for another day. If you don't know, food, massive amount. It was a huge part of my childhood. Friends and family would always come over. We'd hang out in the kitchen, visiting our grandparents. Everything happened in the kitchen. So a lot of the times when we would have dinner, it would be the first time we were catching up for the day, because I'd get home from school, I'd go off and do my homework or work on the computer and, or do chores, whatever it would be. But dinner time, we sat down and we all talked about our day, everything that went on. And then when we were done talking about that stuff, we'd start shooting the shit about random stuff that happened in the past, Some memory get triggered and we start laughing and talking about stuff. So a lot of times when I do the videos where I'm having food, my mom's sitting right there, right where you guys are, because that's who I picture is sitting right there and I'm talking to her. I don't hear her answer me or anything, but that's okay. Yeah. I will miss her. But like I said, I've had a good childhood, a good life. And I had a great mom. So I don't have a regret. I know some folks are kind of curious, like why I didn't go back or anything. That was her choice and my choice. She said what I was hoping and what I was thinking was that she didn't want me to fly back because she wanted the memories of her with me to be the ones that I had when she visited me before I left. So the summer before I left Canada, she came and visited for a couple of days, and we had a great visit, and it was perfect. There's a restaurant in Fredericton called The Cabin. Just called The Cabin. It has been there longer than I've been around. It's the place that everybody went to. Like in the 60s, you could go in there in the premiere of New Brunswick, you'd be sitting there having lunch. People that were in charge of big industries, like the Irving oil family, they'd be in there having lunch. Like, it was just the place. It was a down home. We get something, it's a Canadian thing called a hot hamburger sandwich. And it is literally like take a Salisbury steak, that idea. It's a hamburger. Sometimes you get grilled onions on it. Most of the time, just a hamburger, white bread, 2 slices. So you've got gravy, and we have gravy on it. So you have gravy on the bread, meat patty, another piece of bread, gravy all over the top, frozen peas that were put on top, and then crinkle cut fries on the side. So like I said, a lot of times we have fried onions on the burger or on the side. Yeah, when we were there, Mom was laughing because she was reminiscing about the time when we went, and the guy that operated the cabin, his name was Tex. I think he won it playing poker. That place changed hands more times than you could shake. Like, it was just one of those weird places, but it still existed and it was still good. He still served a hot hamburger. It was still yummy. We had a good time. But Mom was like remembering the time that we went, and Tex on purpose gave my dad his hot hamburger, but didn't put the patty inside. My dad just ate and was yakking away. Didn't even notice they didn't have hamburger, and Tex hands him the burger saying, "Hey, did you miss something?" You know, it's just shit like that. So yeah, I have a lot of memories, a lot of good ones. And that's what I've been doing today, is I've been sharing those stories in my head. There'll be more. I will inundate you with more tales of my mom as, you know, the days and months and weeks and years go by, because I want to keep her memory alive. And I do that by talking about everything and remembering the amazing things that she did. And all I can say, I'm very fortunate to have such a good mom. So I'm going to sign off. My beer is really warm now. Happy hour is going to be here. I'm just going to have the beer and contemplate the rest of my evening. And then, the other thing, moving. I talked to my landlord today, and I'll be moving on Sunday, which is perfect for me. So I still have to finish packing tomorrow. Gives me ample time to get it all done. I might finish it off tonight. Depends on how much sleep I get. If I sleep like a baby, I will. I think I've had like 2 hours sleep. So I don't require much, but it's okay. Anyway, thank you again, everybody, for all of the kind words. It's shocking with how many lizards are on that wall, like 5 of them. It's shocking with how quickly you folks become part of my family, right? In essence, you know, the conversations we have on a regular basis resonates, and the outpouring of kind words was beyond anything I could have hoped for. So thank you ever so much for everything. I'm going to sign off, but I will see you guys hopefully very soon. As you can see, not as somber as yesterday. Finality of things helps. Closure helps. I now know how it feels to be on the other side of that. The side before, not knowing when it's going to happen, much worse than after you know. Because now it's over with. And I know that she's off having her happy hour, wherever she is, surrounded by her loved ones, my stepdad, her father. Yeah. So I'm going to sit here and think of her and celebrate her life. I'll see you guys in our next one. If you like my content, please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you are still here and you're so inclined, I'll post a link over there, another video. See you guys soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.